Hello and welcome to episode 134, and for this video I've come down to the festival carp fishery. I've not been here for I think it is 2 years. I think it is pretty much about 2 years to the day actually since I was actually last here. A bit has changed in that last couple of years since I've been here last, but we'll go into that later on when I'm talking rigs and what have you. So all the kit's still in the car. I've literally just pulled up, and if you can just see over my shoulder, there's a bridge there, and I am the very first swim. You might just be able to see it over the bridge. So luckily enough, no barrows are needed for this session. So I'm also on my own. It's a bit of a rarity these days, but yeah, the fishing on my own, so hopefully I'll be alright on my own. Be a bit lonely, Billy no mates, but anyway, right, I need to start getting some kit out of the car. First thing that's going to go up is the bivvy. It might look nice and sunny at the moment, but heavy rain is forecast for about 2 hours time, so normally I like to get fishing first, but on this occasion I'm going to get the bivvy up first. And then you can probably just see behind me as well, there's a net dip. One of the first things you got to do when you get here is dip all your nets, slings, unhooking mats. So we'll get the bivvy up first, so if at least if the rain comes in early, I can at least chuck all the gear in and get sorted out, and then we'll go from there. Right, till then, let's go fishing. Guys, I'm actually still in the middle of setting up. I've hardly got no gear out the car yet. Well, I've just been watching this little area in front of me, and as you might be able to hear, the wind's blowing, and this end of the lake that I'm on is on the back of the wind. I've just been stood on this bridge for a few minutes before I started filming this piece, and all in that sheltered area. You probably can't make it out on camera, but mainly in that far corner I've been seeing fish show. Not actually seeing the fish, but there's visible signs that fish are there. There's bobbling, some fizzing. I just had a look sort of behind me, and it's the same sort of behind me as well, in that kind of sheltered water off the back of the wind. There's fish showing there as well. So I'm hoping that's a positive sign. Probably the one negative, just as I pulled up, I was catching the guys who was in my swim sort of as they were leaving, and they were saying they've done 48 hours in the swim I'm in, only done one fish, but I don't know. But there's definitely fish up there. I can see signs of them. Right, let's carry on getting the kit out of the car. Right then guys, I'm going to run through some of the bait I'm going to be using for this session. Well, it's a few weeks ago now, probably about 4 weeks ago, but at the Big One show, the very nice guys on the Urban Baits stall, as I was walking past, recognised me as a YouTube blogger, and sort of called me over and goes, "Oh, do you want to try some of our baits using one of your blogs?" I was like, "Oh, thank you very much." And so they give me one of their bait packs, for free. Very kind of them. So this is the blog I've chosen to use it. So I'll show you what came in the bait pack. I mean, these was already being sold at the show for at a pretty good deal anyway. But like I said, they let me have it for free. So, kilo of 14 millers, shelf life, boilies, but I'm going to do something with them in a minute. We'll go through afterwards. Kilo bag of 2mm pellet, and it's all the nutcracker bait, by the way. The nutcracker boilies, nutcracker pellets, bottle of glug, and also in the pack was a pot of pop-ups, 14mm pink pop-ups. I didn't bring those ones with me because I wanted a choice of bait, and what I did already have anyway, you've seen me using them already in previous blogs, is again the nutcracker, but like I said, bait I had already, and these are the 12mm pop-ups. And what I did, I got 3 pots of them and I've just mixed them all up, so rather than carrying 3 pots of different colours, I've got all 3 colours in one pot. What's the point in carrying 3 pots when you don't have to? So they're the hook baits I'm going to be using this session. Obviously a different colour on each rod to start off with, and see how we go from there. I mean, like I said, last time I was here, although be it 2 years ago, and then sort of before that, yellow was the bait that used to work back then, so I'll have confidence that it might be the yellow. And I have put some of the glug on them as well to boost them up. Right, so obviously I need to put some bait out first. So fishing on my own, I can't walk around the outsides and go and bait up after I've put my rods out, because obviously I'd be leaving my rods unattended, and that's bad angling if I did that. So I said, right, what I'm going to do with these first, I'm going to put them through my boilie crusher. So I'm actually going to bait up as crumb rather than whole boilie. Right guys, as I mentioned, I'm going to bait up with the boilies, but baiting it up as crumb. Brought me boilie crusher with me. You briefly saw me using it in my last blog at Lynch Hill, only a bit of a close-up, but yeah, I'm going to crush this whole kilo of boilie. And yeah, just bait up the margins with the boilie crumb, really. So unless you fish open water, I think it is a bit one-dimensional fishing here, because as I said, you are fishing from the inside of the lake to the outside of the lake. So really, sort of, the main sort of way of fishing this place really is just chucking to the outside margins and fishing tight to the tight to the edge as you can, really. I'd say it is a bit one-dimensional, so... Oh, just seeing another fish show just on the right. So, right, anyway, I'm sure you don't want to watch me crush a whole kilo of boilies, but if you can see that, that's what we're getting. And then I'll add a bit of the glog over them too, just to give them a bit of extra pulling power. Right, where's my bag? Let's chuck it into this big bag that the whole bait pack come in. That'll make glugging them up a little bit easier as well. Sometimes I amaze myself how efficient I am. Guys, before I actually cast the rods out, I'm going to show you the rigs I'm going to be fishing this session. I know I don't normally show rigs until after I start catching fish, but I'm doing something a little bit different. I have fished this way before, but not for quite a while. So, as I mentioned in my intro, there's a couple of things different about the lake, well, rules wise, since I was last here 2 years ago. One of the rules is no fake baits are allowed anymore. So before, where you could top your baits off with fake corn or use zig rigs with bits of foam and all that, foam, cork, imitation baits, all that's out the window now. It's all banned, not allowed. And the other rule is no leaders are allowed now either. So not just lead caught, no leaders of any type whatsoever. So you have to use tubing or naked rigs, but I wouldn't say use naked rigs, because naked line, I feel, can get under the scales of fish if you're having a bit of a hectic fight and can lift scales. So, you know, where leaders are banned, always use tubing, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. So there we go. And what you can probably see, for all intents and purposes, probably normally looks like one of my normal solid PVA bag rigs. Is a little bit different though. I mean, the hook link is exactly the same as when I fish solid bags. So as you can see, I've got one of the little 12 millers on. I've got a size 8 wide gape hook. It was barred, but I've crimped it down because it's a barbless rule here also. Little shot above the hook, so obviously it keeps the pop-up pinned down. Little 3 inches of supple braid, supple because it's all going in a solid PVA bag. Little anti-tangle sleeve. It's not for anti-tangle purposes, it's just to keep the hook link on the quick change swivel. 2 ounce lead and then tubing. The only difference about this one is, if I can show you, for all intents and purposes, it's a solid bag rig to begin with. If a fish picked this rig up, oh, I muffed that up. So So if the fish picks it up, picks the rig up, you've got the weight of the lead, you know, to hook the fish. But then when the fish runs and really bolts, bang, there you go. The lead comes free and it's a completely running rig. And I've achieved this by, obviously I said I'm using tubing, and then let's get the lead out of the way. On the end of the tubing I've got a tail rubber, which would normally be the tail rubber you'd all have on a lead clip rig or sort of on the tail end of a inline lead. But all I've done, you might be able to see, I don't think you really can, but in the end of that tail rubber is basically just a swivel, a quick change swivel, and then one end of the swivel is obviously in the tail rubber and the other end's in that anti-tangle sleeve. And all you do is you gently plug the tail rubber into the bottom of the lead, and there you go. It's then basically a solid bag rig. So there you go. There's enough, you know, weight there to catch a fish, and then bang, running rig. And then obviously with that setup, if you ever had a crack off or a break off or a snap off, you would lose the whole lot, you know. So a completely 100% safe rig. So alright, so that's got to go in a solid bag, and here's one I've prepared earlier in Blue Peter fashion. So obviously I've got a pink one in just to make out the hook there, and then as I said previously, the nutcracker pellets. So that's the only bag I've tied up so far. So yeah, something a little bit different. So I didn't mean to waffle on a bit while I go on about the rig, but like I said, when I do something a bit different, I just like to sort of show it in depth. I mean, like I said, it's a super safe rig, and fishing like that, I mean, you can fish solid bag rigs and it's 100% safe. Like, the whole lot would drop off if you ever had a crack off or a snap off. But anyway, right, I need to bag this one up. The third rod is still leaning up against the bivvy, so I mean, I've been here quite a few hours now, I haven't even got a rod out, so. But right, need to crack on, get these last two rigs bagged up, and then get them out in the lake so I can actually start fishing. Right guys, I'm actually fishing now. All three rods are out, they're fishing. Obviously you saw me cast that rod just to the margins on my right hand side. You also saw me earlier on put some bait on that spot as well. But practically all three rods are fishing exactly the same, obviously in different spots low. That rod you saw, my middle rod is fired out to the corner of the lake, and there's been some fish showing in that corner, and then the left hand rod is just dead out in front of me, obviously tight to the reeds as well. So hopefully I can get some fish. The only thing is, Matt the bailiff has just been round, I had a bit of a chat, and he said the old solid bag technique on this lake is not been so effective as of late, so he's had to change things himself. So I'm hoping that's just him, otherwise I'm going to start changing rigs and tactics and what have you. But anyway, well, I need to get in me bivvy, have a bit of a tidy up, and all my poor old legs. Yeah, a bit of a bomb sight in there, and mozzies going in my ears. But yeah, I need to have a bit of a tidy up. It's still like a bomb site in there, but we are fishing now, that's the main thing. Hopefully the fish will come soon. And guys, I think I'm going to have an early night. Feeling a bit tired. Oh, if it looks a bit dark, it's because you can probably hear it's raining again. So I've got the camcorder pushed right back in the bivvy so it don't get wet. But obviously no fish yet, but there has been fish boshing out all over my swim. So I'm confident of a bite in the night. I'm not going to recast my rods because it was quite sort of late in the afternoon, sort of early evening by the time I actually put the rods out anyway, so I don't feel there's any need to recast the rods. But yeah, feeling a bit tired. Obviously I was up early this morning to get everything ready and then come here, so, and my bed's a bit more comfy now as well because I've got, oh hello, bleepity bleep. Yeah, my bed's a bit more comfy as well now because I've got myself a new tracker bed chair underlay. It's kind of like a layer of memory foam and it's got a little valve on it. You open up the valve and it kind of self-inflates to give you an extra layer of comfort on your bed chair. So I had a little test already and it's well comfy. Right, anyway, don't want to waffle on and make the blog too long, so hopefully see you in the night. Good morning, guys. I always thought I had a good night's sleep because there weren't any fish, but Jesus Christ, did it ever rain last night. Absolutely belted down most of the night. It's like one of them rains where you're glad you didn't get a bite because you know you'd get absolutely soaked if you had to get up for a fish. But it's not raining now, well, thankfully, so I can wind me rods in, go and visit the on-site conveniences, and then recast me rods on some fresh bags and bait. But unfortunately there is some more rain forecast for later on. Hopefully it's not going to last as long, I don't think. From about lunchtime onwards to about tea time I think it's going to last for. So anyway, today's another day. It's still nice and early. I think it's only about 8 o'clock now, so I've still got a nice long day to I can't crouch down for too long because me old legs. Yeah, it's a nice long day to get sorted. Right, don't want to waffle on too long. Need to wind in the rod soon anyway, so I can go off to the loo. Right then guys, I'm fishing again. As you've just seen, I've just recast all 3 rods. back on the baited spots that I've been baiting up. I didn't show you this time, but before I recast the rods, I went round like I did yesterday, round the outside, and chucked in some more of that chop boilie, little nutcracker, in through the reeds again, and then recast all 3 rods. The last rod, you might have thought I went a bit too far, hit the reeds. Believe it or not, that was actually planned. So I'm casting as tight as I can to the reeds, sort of just clipping them, and then sort of as it hits the reeds, then just sort of pulling it back a little bit so that the PV bag drops literally on the edge of the reeds. So you might have thought I overshot it, but I'm clipped up really tight to be able to do that. So no, it wasn't an overcast. It was planned, believe it or not. But anyway, enjoying the sunshine now. Well, a bit of duck has just come over, but it was nice and warm. Back to just the waiting game now, but I think in another few hours time, the bad weather that we had yesterday and last night is due to come in again, as I said this morning. So I probably won't recast me rods now again until something happens, or it's time to do me recast this evening. So yeah, just sit back, relax, and enjoy this this lovely Somerset sunshine. Right guys, thought I'd just give you a bit of an update, although there's not really much to update you with. One of the rods has just changed spots. One of the different bailiffs was just round, and he was asking me why I'd picked this swim, because this swim wasn't a known big hit swim. I was like, well, out of all the swims that were free when I was booking out, there was only 2 swims that were free for 3 days, so it was this one or another one, so I'm in this one. But anyway, yeah, he was saying this swim isn't really known for big hits of fish, so seems like I've got a bit of a tough job on my hands to get one out. And for those of you who don't know, this is a venue where you book your swim, so once you're fishing, that's it, that is your swim. So but again, while the bailiff was chatting to me, we see a fish bosh out right down that end of the lake, which is sort of 2 swims to the left really. If I go do a little zoom in, I've already got, if you can just, there you go, see that little pipe, centre of shot, that's like I think a little overflow pipe, and that is a known spot in front of that pipe, but it's a swim 2 swims to my left. And he said, well, no one's fishing up there at the moment. He said, chuck a rod down there. So I have. There are people booked into the 2 swims on my left tomorrow, so no point in me moving, so I can cast that far, so I have. That's the only rod that's moved. So I'll leave that rod there for the time being. Yeah, it's getting nice and warm now. There was some rain forecast for this afternoon, but it's not happening, which is good. The wind's easing off, sort of died off a bit as well, so it's all a bit flatter and a bit calmer. Yeah, but yeah, that's about really to update you with. Really, just move one of my spots. Yeah, I've just cast it sort of 2 swims away, which I guess it's probably about an 8-yard cast. One mistake I did make was once I'd clipped up the bare lead to that spot. I forgot to do me wraps afterwards, so if I'm going to cast back to that spot again, I'm going to have to lead up and clip up again. Bit of a naughty mistake to make, that one. There you go. Actually, I think I'm going to take me hoodie off. Rather than it being forecast to rain, it's actually getting quite warm. See that behind me? Not liking the look of that. Looks a bit dark and nasty and wet to me. I think we could be in for a spot of rain. Yes, I do see you. Oh, I can hear you too. Don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it's starting to rumble, that is. Alright guys, that black cloud that I showed you is now above us. On my bivvies in letterbox mode. Oh. Oh. What's the betting? If I'm going to have a run, it's going to happen now. It's so, oh, lightning, did you see that? Oh, it's not good fishing weather, guys. Uh-oh. Oh, a bit more lightning. Sod's law says I'm going to get a run now. I'm meant to be having a barbecue later. So I hope this is going to pass for then, because oh, more lightning. Oh, this is fun. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to be having a barbecue later on for me tea. So I hope this passes, because I've only got barbecue food left with me now. Right, I think you've had enough of looking at rain. Now we're carping. Got the old barbecue on the go. As for the fishing, there's not much to update you, right? Got update you with. I've just recast 2 of my rods. You've seen one where I've chucked it long. I won't be able to cast there tomorrow because I know there's people turning up in the swims to my left, so I won't be able to cast up there tomorrow. Right hand rod, you saw that cast. Not long just before I'd done that cast, a fish boshed out on that spot, so I was gonna move that rod and fish it open water just for the night, see what happens, but I see a fish bosh out right where you saw that splash when I'd done the cast, so it'd be silly not to keep a rod on it. And then the third rod, I haven't actually recast yet, but literally just in front of my swim, in front of the reeds, all day I've been watching the reeds twitching away, so there's obviously fish literally right down in front of the swim. Oh, poor old legs. So just before I climb into bed tonight, because I ain't going to do it now, otherwise I'm just disturbing it, because it is literally under my feet. But yeah, just before I crawl into my bed tonight, I'm going to put a rod literally down there, right where I'm watching the reed. I can see him twitching now. So oh, come on, burger, stick to the barbecue. There we go. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy my food shortly, and hopefully there'll be a bit more activity tonight. Right then guys, I am not blanking finally. 2:30 on the second night, and the right hand rod went sort of tearing away, and on the end of it was this nice little common, £14.10. Obviously I've already told you what baits I'm on, so but I can't even remember what colour nutcracker this was on. But yeah, you saw where I cast this one. This is where you saw me cast where I had the camera behind the cast, and you saw the splash stuff in that area. But yeah, woke up a bit confused, wondering what was going on. But yeah, finally got a fish in the net. Right, let's get it back so I can get back to bed. Right guys, second fish of the session. I hadn't even got back to sleep yet after that first fish, and fish number 2 has come along. Same rod, right hand rod to that right hand margin. Obviously nutcracker pop up, and it was a white one before on that common, and it's still a white one now. I didn't even change the hook bait, was a bit lazy. But the same hook bait caught this fish, so £17 on the nose this one. So they're getting bigger. Hopefully the next one might be a 20, if there is a next one. Right, let's get her back. Maybe I might get back to sleep. Morning guys. Feeling a bit happier now. I've had some fish, so yeah, there's not a lot more to update you with after that. The guy who's behind me, just had a chat to him this morning, and he lost a couple of fish in the night, unfortunately. But yeah, a bit of dirt on my reels, clean that off. But yeah, this rod at the moment, that's currently chucked long. I'll have to reposition that back to one of the spots I started. Bloody flies getting everywhere. I'll have to chuck that back to me spots I started off on yesterday, because I know there's a couple of kiddies going in the 2 pegs to my left, because they've already messaged me and sort of asking me how I'm getting on and that, so I won't be able to cast up there no more from later on. So I'll be back on the baited spots. I need to go and use the on-site conveniences shortly, and then I'll put some more bait out. I'll have to put some pellet out now because I've used the last of that boilie chops that you saw me at the start of the blog with. I put the last of it in yesterday, so for today and tonight I'll have to just bait up with a pellet now. But that's no biggie, as long as there's still some bait going in, that's the main thing. Right, I mean, whatever happens now really is a bonus as far as I'm concerned. I've had a couple of fish, I'm happy. I hope you're happy with a couple of fish so far. You know, so yeah, anything from now on is a bonus as far as I'm concerned, because it's not a blank. So right, I need to wind these rods in and then go and use the loo. Definitely keeping that spotted baited up, because that's where I had the 2 fish from last night. Middle rod's going to go back on that corner later on, or when I actually get the rods back out in a bit. Although I've not caught on it yet. There was fish boshing out on that spot last night. But yeah, middle rod back in that corner. That'll be my left stem rod spot again when I put the rods out. Again, this spot hasn't done a fish yet, but there has been fish boshing out close to this spot. I think probably only about 2 rod lengths up was a spot I see a fish bosh out on yesterday. Right, get back round to the swim and get the rods back out. Right guys, just had a bit of a kip, but there's nothing really to update you with. Absolutely nothing has happened since I put some more bait out, since I put the rods out. Literally the only thing different, when I started off the session I had a different colour hook bait on each rod. Now all three rods are fishing on white hook baits because both fish I had last night come on the right hand rod that was fishing the white hook bait. So yeah, although it's sort of mid-afternoon, that is the only change I've really got to tell you about since putting the rods out. So been really quiet, not even a single bleep. Yeah, well, lots of bugs about though. Oh guys, it was only just about a minute ago, maybe 2 minutes, I was updating you with an update of nothing has happened. I just sat back down in my chair in my bivvy. The line on my left hand rod, the one I'm holding in my hand, pulled tight and just stopped. It's obvious the fish that had picked up my rig had gone into the reeds, picked the rod up, and I could see straight away I was having to pull the fish out the reeds. Pulled, and then the fish spat the hook, and then it just had a little wave at me, give me a splash and a wave from within the reeds, and I've just wound back an empty rig. Right then guys, I think about an hour has passed since I lost that fish on my left hand rod, and then how's about that? My middle rod went, the rod that's right in the corner, £19.2. As I said already earlier on, I've changed all my baits over now to the white ones because that's what the fish last night had taken, and it seems to be a good move because obviously I had that take on the left hand rod which I lost, and now I've had the take on the middle rod which is landed this lovely £19.2 fish. Really cracking scaly one, put up a great fight as well, so well chuffed with this one. So turning into a good session now, that's for sure. Right, I've already done the photos, so let's get her back. Spot on, right in the corner where I just had that fish from. Evening guys, it's barbecue time again. This is half the fun of being out on the bank now, the barbecue. But yeah, I think I don't know what the time is. It's 7:30 in the evening, so yeah, no more knocks or indications anymore since I had that nice £19 real gorgeous scaly fish. So since then I've recast the right hand rod because that had been a bit dormant for a while, so I've recast that, fresh bag, fresh bait, all that. So I'm not going to recast the left rod or the middle rod because the middle rod was cast recently with that fish, and then the left rod was cast sort of recently with after that lost fish. So I'm not going to recast them because I feel like if there are fish in that area now, it might just disturb that area and put the fish off rather than attract fish with fresh bait and what have you. So yeah, that right hand rod where I had the two fish last night was the quietest area since the fish I had last night. So yeah, recast that one just before I put the barbecue on. Well, anyway, I think I'm waffling now, so anyway, I'm going to crack on and have me food. And then hopefully I'll be chatting to you again in the night with more fish on the bank. Fish number 4. Not really what I'm fishing for, but here we go. Oh, lively little so-and-so. Come on. Let's show you to the camera. Here we go. It's very small. A dinky little tench. Probably about a pound. Oh well. Interrupted me having me steak on my barbecue as well. But alright, let's get it back so I can get back to my steak. Guys, 4th carp is on the bank again. I've got no idea what time in the morning it is, but I know I was fast asleep. Right hand rod again. So that's the 3rd carp now on the right hand rod. Again, white nutcracker pop up. Not much else to say really. Oh, it's a 14 pound exactly. So the smallest fish so far in the session, but it's a fish I'm still catching. It's a nice scaly one though, this. So instead of getting bigger, they're getting smaller, but we're still catching. That's what's the main thing. Morning guys. Obviously no more action last night, and if I'm honest, in the few hours fishing that I've got left, I don't think I'm going to see any more action today, because there is an absolute freezing cold wind blowing this morning, and I mean it's proper freezing. I am absolutely shivering. So yeah, it's been quite warm the last few days while I've been here, but yeah, this morning it is proper freezing cold wind. So because of that, I really can't see anything else happening. It's a change of wind direction as well. Most of the time I've been here, the wind has been blowing from my right to my left as I look at the lake, and it's on a complete 180 today, so it's now blowing left to right. So yeah, it's a new cold wind. I don't think it's going to produce any more bites today, but you know, it's not over until the rods are wound in. So, but that fish I had last night, by the way, came at 2:30 in the morning. I didn't have a clue what time it was when the fish come along, but yeah. But anyway, I'm going to start a slow pack up in a minute, start getting all the non-essentials put away in the car, and then yeah, start a pack down of everything else. Alright, still time for a bite yet though, but I can't see it. Right then guys, as you can see, I'm down to just the rods on the ground. I'm virtually packed up. As I thought, with this cold wind, nothing else has happened. there's not even been any more signs of fish showing, whereas before, you know, there's been constant signs of fish. This cold wind, I think, has just knocked them for dead. So yeah, I'm virtually packed up. Only got to wind the rods in now, and that'll be me off home. The session started a bit slow, but picked up in the end. And after what the bailiffs told me for this peg being a bit of a sort of a non-big hitter, it's turned out all right in the end. Sort of 4 carp and a tench, and plus I lost the carp as well. So it's turned out all right in the end. This session, I'm very happy. Hope you've enjoyed watching this session. Till next time, when yeah, next time it will be sort of 3 weeks time when I'm out next on the bank, I think, with Lee and Simon at Bluebell Lakes up in Peterborough. That'll be it from me. So till then, tight lines, see you next time.